many moons does the Earth have? Yeah?
The Earth has one moon, which is made of cheese.
Oh! I'm afraid you lose 10.
But it does have one moon.
No.
It's called the moon.
One of them. That's it.
I rest my case.
I can understand, Alan, that you would feel hard done by, but the answer is that there are two moons. One is the one we know, called the Moon. The other is called Cruithne. It's 3 miles across and orbits the world every 770 years.
Oh, you're just making this up. Cruithne.
Cruithne, yeah.
Who comes up with this shit? So you're telling me there's a second moon?
There I am.
Blue Moon, I saw you standing alone, not with a small friend.
Quite a way away.
So why is there not one romantic song with the word Cruithne in it? Blue Cruithne of Kentucky or Cruithne River or...
No one can see it. It's
Because it was discovered in 1994.
That is 9 years to write a romantic song with the word Cruithne in it.
In the last 9 years, no romantic songs, as far as I know, have been written at all. Have there?
Brian Adams wrote
yes.
one.
Oh, please!
Everything I do it for Cruithne.
Well, it's a challenge to all of you songwriters out there. If you want to write songs rhyming the moon with June, find a rhyme for Cruithne.
Come
our
with
second
me.
Moon. Come with me.
Fly me to Cruithne.
Yeah.
Let me sing amongst the stars.
Went
Will you
to...
miss me?
Don't go to Disneyland, go to Cruithneland.
Don't miss me on Cruithne.
Oh, no, not white middle class people doing that. No, not doing that, no, please. No. Okay, no. So embarrassing. Right. We have late-breaking news, as a matter of fact. Cruithne is pronounced Cruinia, and it's actually Celtic, and its orbit was discovered in 1997. There you are. People have been busy on our behalf on the internet and elsewhere, calling up important astronomers royal. Speaking of tidal bulges, how many moons does the Earth have? Yeah.
2.
Oh, dear.
We did this last series.
Yes, but Alan, that was last year. There have been
like...
3 more discovered.
Oh, shut up.
It's true. I know it seems astonishing, but it's absolutely true. Do you remember last year?
Cruithne.
Well remembered. Cruithne is the spelling, exactly right, but supposedly pronounced Creenie or something like that. Well, Cruithne was discovered in 97, and it has a weird sort of horseshoe sort of orbit, which doesn't quite complete it, bounces like that. Since then, there have been some more. They've got exciting names. Let me tell you the names. They're 2000 PH5, 2000 WN10 and 2002 AA29. Those are their names. Some people say they aren't really moons, but on the other hand, what else can you call them? They orbit the Earth and they are, to some extent, like moons. They're not visible to the human eye, however. So you could argue that there's 1 or that there's 5, but certainly not 2.
I know what you want to know. Once and for all, how many moons does the Earth have?
Nobody knows. We're not doing that this year.
No, we're not.
3.
Oh! What a pity.
1. Just because it's called the moon doesn't mean it's the only one, it turns out.
The moons, it would be called.
You're not doing yourself any favours early doors. 2. Oh!
This could go on. It could.
So let me stop you right here. The point is, very early on in the A-series, we said there were 2.
Are you taking that back?
Yes.
What do you mean?
This is...
I rely on this show. This is all I know.
This is the whole point of this round, in fact. Facts are not permanent. We thought there were 2, and then we said, oh, no, it's either 1 or 5, we said, in the B-series, because we were acting on the latest info that we had from the scientific community. And this has changed. Now, NASA describes them as mini-moons, but we have about 18,000 moons.
I thought it was the same moon.
Bits of it, you mean?
No, I thought the ones that we keep seeing was the same one over and over again. That was wrong.
No. You're talking about the mini-moons. There was, like, one extra mini-moon.
No.
Or just that whole...
Can I just say, if there's so many, why haven't we noticed them before?
Well, the reason is that they are actually tiny. It's only recently they've run computer simulations to show 18,000. One of those has been observed, has been given the exciting name RH120, which orbited the Earth 4 orbits in 2006 and 7. Then also known as temporarily captured objects. They're captured into Earth orbit, perhaps for a short amount of time. But as satellites of the Earth, non-man-made, they are moons. That's what a moon is.
But the man-made satellites are satellites, right?
Yes, they are. But to be a moon, you have to be a celestial body rather than what you know.
Well,
you
that
could
makes
count
me a moon, then.
Yes, exactly. You are. Precisely. And you orbit my
You
life
have to
journey.
be in orbit for at least 5 years before you can claim benefits.
But the quite interesting thing about this is the point that raised Jimmy Carr's tremendous eyebrows earlier, which is that facts don't remain stable. Things we know or think we know will be untrue. Very good. Will be untrue in a number of years' time.
Appropriately, you look a bit
Trying
like
to do a
Patrick
Mexican
Moore.
wave.
Yes, you do. But how many moons does the Earth have?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Most definitely only one.
Oh, dear.
Of course.
It had to be that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, it is the moon. I think I'm with him.
Yeah.
They've changed.
They call it...
The one and only moon!
Well, the moon's around, clearly around
The
other
moon
planets.
in June, all them
Jupiter has-
songs, come on, they're all
There
about the
are
moon.
lots of orbiting objects, aren't there? Some of them are really...
There are lots of
far
orbiting
away.
objects, yeah. We gave an argument there were hundreds last time to confuse you, but there's another argument which seems quite compelling and interesting, certainly,
besides that
which
one
is
was
that there are
reason.
none. Which is to say that the moon is not a moon. The moon actually
We
qualifies...
just discovered it's turquoise, and now it's not there.
It qualifies... it's there, but it maybe qualifies as a planet. A wanderer, a planet, because...
Well, the Clangers lived on it, didn't they? We know that. Saturn and all that.
Well, in order to be a planet, the International Astronomical Union in 2006 laid down definitions. These were the ones that booted out Pluto, I think. So it has to orbit the sun.
Right.
It has to be massive enough for its own gravity to make it round. It has to have cleared its neighbourhood of smaller objects. The moon comfortably fulfills the first two. On the third, it makes more sense to say that the Earth and moon together have cleared their neighbourhood. The Earth certainly hasn't cleared the moon, so they are a binary system, like binary stars.
Like lichen.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a genuine possibility some people... And the sun's gravitational effect on the moon is more than twice that of the Earth's. So we don't have nearly as much gravitational effect. So there is a good reason to suspect that we are actually in possession of a fellow planet.
It goes round the Earth, though.
The Earth orbits the moon as well.
What?
Yeah. Is it? I know. Go just use an asteroid. So we've been consistently inconsistent about this, but tonight we're saying that the Earth doesn't have a moon at all. So there.
How many Earths does the moon have? How many Earths? Yes.
One.
So there's a staple question. How many moons does the Earth have? Various times you get different answers. 2, several, 1, more. They're all arguable answers. But this is turning the question on its head. How many Earths does the moon have?
Now, if you ask me about the ice planet Hoth...
We'd be there straight away.
It's more than one, then?
Well, it depends on what theory you believe in. So the most widely accepted theory of how our moon was formed is the Big Splat, OK? So that proposes that it was created
By a hippo?
About 4.5 billion years ago, there was a collision between the Earth and another Mars-sized planet known as Theia. And we've always assumed that the thing was a glancing blow, right? And Theia would have spun off into space and left a large debris from the collision, and that is our moon. There's a more recent development of this idea, which is that the collision was head-on, in which case the Earth is a fusion of 2 planets. And it would mean that the moon, in fact, has 2 Earths.
Wow.
If that is the thing that we believe. Speaking of the moon, do you know that the original video recording of the first moon landing on the 20th of July 1969 no longer exists? Did you know this? In 2006, NASA admitted they couldn't find the original videos, and it turned out the tapes had been erased and reused in the 80s to save money. Luckily enough, there were some good archive copies found. Does anybody know where I was the 20th of July, 1969?
Denmark?
Will you be...
No.
Were you faking the footage?
I was 11 years old.
Were you there, in America?
I was
On the moon?
I was in... I was in Mission Control in Houston.
Yeah.
You were?
I was. My dad was a foreign correspondent, and that's why I was there. And I said to this woman, "You all right?" She said, "I'm kind of nervous. My boss is about to step out onto the moon." And I said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll hold your hand." So when Neil Armstrong stepped out onto the moon, I was holding his secretary's hand. Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to the QI channel and click here to watch more videos. Well, please, come on, pick something.